Yeah.
All right. We're a blockchain-centric co-working space. We'll be getting a lot of workshops, educational content, probably a lot more events like this. Very community-oriented. If you're looking to, I guess, add to the conversation, if you have an event that you want to do that is educational and community-focused, please come talk to me. I'm more than happy to host that and get that going. We're protocol agnostic, so anyone building on top of blockchains or using blockchains for anything, we'd really be interested in hearing what you're doing. With that, I'll give it up to Alex, the UXD group.
Cool. Thank you, guys. San Francisco User Experience Designers is a meetup group, and we try to discuss the role of design. We love partnering with groups like SF Ethereum to host events like this. I'm really excited about a design jam that we're going to have today. It's one of the 3 different event types that we host, along with coffee shop working sessions and also seminars and talks. And so glad to have you guys here.
Thank you, Alex. Whoa, this is louder. Hey guys, my name is Anne-Marie, and I'm representing SF Ethereum. SF Ethereum is basically a public forum for blockchain enthusiasts. So if you want to learn anything about blockchain, the Ethereum blockchain specifically, come and see us on Meetup. So before we start, I want to give you guys like a short, well, how many of you know about blockchain? Like have a really good grasp of blockchain? Please raise your hands. Okay. So not all hands have been raised here. So let me give you a really fast as I can, rundown of what blockchain is. Let me start first with platforms. The Ethereum platform, the Bitcoin platform. So I want you guys to think of these, they're basically operating systems, platforms. So platforms that you know of right now, there's Mac OS, there's Windows, right? There's also, I would say America could be seen as a platform, and I'll tell you why. So it's like a world, right? A world where there's a standard way of doing things, and in these worlds, there's a language that everyone speaks. And so it makes it easier to build things, and faster and cheaper and more efficient. So let's say in the real world, like in America, okay? You're building a building. If nobody speaks the same language, it's very hard to build a building efficiently or a bridge efficiently. If you have different ways of doing things, very hard to do that. Same with applications on Ethereum or Bitcoin. Building those applications or websites, decentralized websites. And the reason I bring up America is because I don't know how many people here have heard of hard forks. Hard forks, right? Okay, so you've heard of Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So they hard forked from each other because they didn't agree on the way things were run. So how many people here have heard of CalExit? Hashtag CalExit, right? California wanted to secede from the states because it didn't like the way it was being run. So California was trying to hard fork from America, okay? So that'll give you an example of what, and I forgot to use this. Okay, so that's your world. These are ways of, like etiquette, rules. So again, like if things are not built well, you end up with things like this, like a pier that is shoddily built and dangerous to step on, right? So now that we've talked about that, let's talk about blockchain itself and how it fits in these worlds. So blockchain technology is a method of trading. It's a method of trading things of digital data, things of value that are digital. So you've got small amounts of data like cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin. And you've got larger amounts of data like contracts, deeds, art, music. And blockchain, especially Ethereum, with Ethereum, it actually, oh yeah, there it is, the Ethereum logo. It actually allows you to do more complicated trades, conditional trades. if this happens, then that can happen. So let's say for an original piece of artwork that someone wants to purchase, in order to prove that that artwork is real, you need a certificate of authenticity, which can be sent digitally, right? And on the certificate of authenticity, there needs to be the signature of the artist and the seller and the buyer and the information on that certificate of who created that certificate in the first place. And those are certain things that should be on there that prove that it's real. And when you trade, or when you transfer this data, you transfer it to basically all the computers that have uploaded the Ethereum software. So any computer that has downloaded this Ethereum software is on the network and can verify this information. And this can be globally. This can be all over the world. Each one of you that has a laptop that, or a computer that downloads this information can be a part of that network and verify that information. So that makes it distributed, right? And also because it's on these computers, on your computers, and not managed by one entity, one business, one person, the middleman is gone, that means it's decentralized. And because it's on all these computers, it's very hard to change the information on all these computers. So that means it's immutable. And it's also incorruptible, because let's say a computer loses that information, you have the information on all the other computers. So the same information is on all the computers. There's other ways of separating the information, but we're not going to go into that. So basically, let's just go with the same information is on all the computers. Okay? So it's very hard to change that information. Let's say you want to hack that information, you want to change it. You would have to change it on every single computer, and you would have to change it. Let's say it's let's see, it is 7:16 right now. So at 7:10, you made this transaction, and this person that wants to hack it, mess with this information, has to basically go into every computer and change the information, every single block of information that has been created since then. And this is where blockchains come into the picture. So blocks are basically sets of information. And for instance, on Ethereum, every 15 seconds, a new set of information has been created, or a block. And every single of those blocks references the blocks before then. So let's say we have one block with information A. The next block would be information B plus A. And then the next block would have information C, B, and A, and on and on and on. So let's say at 7, I don't know what number I said, 7:17 right now. This person wants to hack all those blocks. They'd have to basically change all the information in each of those blocks on every single computer that's in the network. That's a lot of information to change. So it's very, very difficult. So do I have everything? Oh, transparency. So this information is transparent. So you can see this information. You can see it on Blockchain Explorer, which we'll bring up a little later on what that is. But basically, you can see the information that's being transacted, but you cannot see who is involved in those trades. Not unless you actually really investigate, because everyone who's involved in those trades is represented by a public key, or it's basically a pseudonym for your identity when you're doing these trades. So let's see here. We did transparency, distributed. Okay, so what's so great about this system? Well, because it's transparent, people are held accountable now. There's accountability because it's distributed and distributed. It's more secure. Because it's decentralized, it can be cheaper, or you can earn more money. Like for a musician who is using this system for transactions or trades, the record label or the publisher or the lawyer, they can be automated or put on that can be those types of relationships can be managed by the software or the computer. Other things that are of benefit are people can have an identity. Now, people who don't have identities can have that. And in order to have when you have an identity, it's like you're passed to a lot of things. You can have a bank account, and you can get a loan, you can buy a car. There are a lot of people that are not able to do that. So those are some benefits, and there's so many more. There's so many real-world use cases. And so I don't know if you've seen any of these blockchain applications that are being built today. Let me actually bring this up. So a lot of the applications that are live or built today, if you look up here, let me see if I can, no, you can't. Well, basically this spreadsheet lists some applications that are live, and I don't know if you can read it, but a lot of what's listed there, top 10, pyramid schemes, collectible kitties, digital collectible kittens, we don't have a lot to show for this, right? We need help. We need designers' help. We need you guys to make these applications applications that are beneficial to humanity, adoptable, so they can spread to the general public. Knowing that too, we should also be diligent in figuring out which ones we want to design or make more user-friendly and functional, right? There are some applications out there, there's some websites out there that shouldn't be built or should not be spread to the general public. So you want to keep that in mind. You're not just an advocate for human experience, or in many cases with some of these applications for human rights, but I also want you guys to think as if you're also gatekeepers, right? So, let's see. So that brings us to blockchain explorers. Let me talk about what a blockchain explorer is, and then we can go into the problem. So a blockchain explorer basically is a bridge. It's a bridge to this layer of information that that will always exist, basically, on the blockchain. Okay, so there's this layer of information that's always going to be there, and blockchain explorers basically are a bridge to access that information. So blockchain explorers, they're kind of like the front end for a decentralized website or an application. It allows you to explore the blocks of information that are out there on the blockchain. So we've got different types of blockchain explorers. We've got blockchain.info. We've got etherscan.io. So basically, I guess we can transfer to